Please don't chew on the presents. Okie dokie. Deal? Deal. Hi guys, nice to meet you if you're new here. Nice to see you if you're not new here. How's it going? Welcome back to bookmas. Today we're reading one-star reviews of some of my favorite books. I don't take criticism on any of these books. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I got my iPad ready to go. LOL. My first book is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I love this book. I adore this book. I know not everybody loves this book, but I don't want to hear it. I don't. I love Russ. I love Aurora. I love the relationship. I love the setting of this book. You can't tell me anything bad about this book, except for these people, I guess. So out of 87,000 ratings, there are 954 one-star reviews on this book. So I guess we should read them. WTF was this? There was no plot. Hello. The plot is obviously... This is about Russ and Aurora have a one-night stand. The following day, they find out that they're both going to be camp counselors at the same camp, and then they're going to have to face each other. They're both going through their own hardships with their families by themselves, and then they're helping each other, and then they're falling in love, you know? This one says, this was worse than Icebreaker. How are people liking this? Are y'all high on cheap drugs? Hello. There was literally no plot and too many daddy issues that it was both the main character's entire personality. Curious how this was approved to be released. It needs major rework. I'm speechless. Okay, next one. Someone just says this was garbage. Okay. The puppies had more personality than them. Okay, the puppies were great. They were a part of the book that was, I love golden retrievers, but you cannot pay me money to make me pretend to care about their relationship. Stab to the heart. Everyone is just saying it's boring. I didn't think it was boring. Sad face. Okay, we're just gonna move on to the next book. The next book, listen. I love this book, and I know a lot of people hate it. I do. I know this book also originated on Wattpad, and I love this book. It's one of my faves. We're gonna ignore the front though. It's Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is a hockey romance. It's about Carter. He's like a bad boy hockey player. The thing people hate about this book, which I know, is he's arrogant and he knows that he's hot stuff, but he's funny, and he sees this girl, a best friend of someone, and he's like, oh my god, her, beautiful, love, and she's like, no, I know who you are, that's not happening. And so he tries his hardest to get to her, and there's just so many cute things that happen in this book. He's funny, she's funny, the old man in this book, love him. He says, I love this book. And you can't tell me, like, you're obviously, like I said, I mean, you're gonna tell me if you hate this book. I love this book, but I just know people don't like this book because of Carter. But Carter's like, I love him. So out of 88,000 reviews, there are 2,000 one-star reviews. I would rather gouge my eyes out than keep reading this. The fact that this has a 4.23 average honestly baffles me. The fact that this has a 4.23 average honestly baffles me and gives me a great concern over the reading level of the world's population. This review just keeps going. Look how long this one-star review is. Oh my gosh. There are things in this book that are questionable. Like there's, oh, I can't tell you. That spoils it. There's a scene in this book with an apartment that is very like, are you serious? I wish someone could smack me hard enough to make me forget about this whole book's existence. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's just a bad review, but instead of saying DNF, they say time of death. That's funny. The next book is Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is about Kate and Willa. Kate is a single dad. Willa is a nanny for Cade's little boy, and watching the relationship between Willa and the little boy, and then Cade watching them. It's just so cute. I love the relationship in this book, and Willa is such a badass. I love it. I don't know who would rate this book 1 star. I don't. Let's see though. Out of 131,000, there are 441 star reviews. The word panties is probably mentioned on every page at least 2 times. I hate the panties talk. There's a scene that happens at the beginning of this book that's like, I think that's the opening scene. It's okay, fair, I guess. Humiliated that I read this. Well, I like the first book. This one didn't do anything for me. Ship has no chemistry, moves too fast, and for that nickname, I need compensation. Literally, I suffered. I do not get the hype. Actually, it sent me straight to the pits of hell. I will not give this book a super thoughtful review because it doesn't deserve it. This whole book gave me the ick. And then they go on to mention some quotes in the book. Every second of my time was wasted in this book. Ick, he's 13 years her senior. It's an age gap romance. Oh no, what's happening with the sun? Decided to try out one of the free books on the Kindle app. Wish I hadn't. Okay. Let's move on. Next is Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I love. And then the ending, it got me. Oh. Out of 137,000 ratings, there are 424 one-star reviews. First one is, the only good thing this book did was remind me to dye my hair pink. I'm still baffled that this is classified as YA. I have read picture books more intense than this. This writing is just like, quote, this forest is so magic and fairy tale-like. Wow, much magic, much fairy tale. What's a man supposed to do with that? I'm not really one to vividly imagine book settings, but at least give me something. I feel like I could imagine it pretty well. If Eva Jax has 1 million haters, then I am one of them. If they have 10 haters, then I am one of them. If they have only 1 hater, then that is me. If Eva Jax has no haters, then that means I am dead. If the world loves Eva Jax, then I am against the world, part 2. This should be classified as a children's book. I don't think so. I wish I could erase this entire series from my mind. This was genuinely so bad. Like, I want to cry. WTF was that? How do people like this? Slight spoiler for Once Upon a Broken Heart if you haven't read it. This book would have been much better if Evangeline had stayed a stone statue. The Ballad of Never Reading This Again. Okay, I have Shatter Me. I chose Shatter Me because the whole series is a 5-star read. I think I do like a couple other books better, but I chose this one since it's the first book and it's such a long series. This one has 787,000 reviews and 25,000 one-star reviews. This book is what I see in the corner of my room while having sleep paralysis. Kenji carried this. I'm not gonna lie to you, Kenji's my favorite character of the entire series. But oh my gosh. This one says, I don't know if I read the wrong Shatter Me, but how does anyone like any of the male characters, especially Warner? You have to keep reading. You end up liking Warner in the novella. If you're gonna read Shatter Me, you have to read the novellas, and I disagree if you don't read the novellas because you get their point of views. Because I don't think you get Warner's point of view until like book 3 or 4. I don't think you get it in book 2. But anyways, in the first novella right after Shatter Me is Warner's point of view. You have to read that. Because if you just go straight into book 2, you're not going to like him. You know? I'm really tired of dystopians with annoying romances. Like, you know how frustrating it is when you pick up a YA book that's got a lot of hype and then all you get out of it is trashy romance disguised as a political revolution. And also, P.S. authors, I know what the human body looks like. Please stop describing the same bloody things over and over and over. It's exhausting. Please. This sucked so bad. We're moving on to this book. This book is Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. This is about Layla, who's never had a boyfriend, and her 3 best friends are like, oh my gosh, we could help you. We could help you practice. So they're like doing boyfriend things, taking her out on dates and stuff. But the only thing is she has to participate in their podcast. The boys have a podcast about relationship advice, which they're not in a relationship, but that's besides the point. And she has to make an appearance on the relationship advice podcast once a week. But then they find themselves, you know, someone says, this book was not what I expected at all. Someone else says, sheesh, this was cringy. The ending had me laughing so hard. I've read many reverse harems and this book was not a good one. I dislike Layla so much. The guy should have dumped her and married each other. The end. I have many regrets in life, and now I can add reading this book to that list. The writing was fine, but I have no love for the plot or the characters. Girl, this is 98% smut and 2% terrible plot. It says it's a spicy book. Someone just says LMAO. Same. Not gonna lie, I read this entirely for the smut. Slay. I think I'm gonna stop reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books because they have me questioning why these are my favorite books. Are they still my favorite books? Yes. I'm just gonna ignore everything that I just read. Let me know in the comments what your favorite book is, and then also a 1-star review that you found. I want to laugh at not just my favorite books. These are kind of funny. Some of them make me a little sad, but for the most part, they're funny. Well, thanks for coming to this video. I hope you're enjoying Bookmas so far. I mean, we're only a couple days in, but I hope you're enjoying it so far. Well, I've got to go, so I will see you in the next Bookmas video. Bye. Thanks for watching.